All praises to Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, Baal Shem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Stone. Shalom to the elect pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, with hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the Scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is a charagma written about in Revelation 13. The miracle drug is a precursor to the charagma. Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So, as the people might say, only know, say, the Lord is about to make his return upon the earth. The scripture says no man know the times nor the seasons. But the Lord also gave us prophecies to look for, yo. That's why it is mentioned in Matthew 16 that we can tell when rain gonna fall because how the sky look. You know, if it's gonna be a sunny or a rainy day. But then you can't discern the signs of the times because the disciples desire the day of the Lord. So they asked the Lord, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And the Lord listed out some prophecies were supposed to come to pass before his coming, in which you are going to have false anointed, we are going to try to deceive many, in which we're in such a time in which you have all these philosophies from Christianity to Rastafarian to Muslim, even amongst those that know that they are Israelites, yo, coming with wayward doctrine, yo, heresies. The scripture make mention of wars and rumors of wars. And so we're not supposed to be troubled. And now we're in such a time in which we're hearing these rumors. Because the word rumor just means news. Just turn on any station where you get your news feed from, yo, and listen what they're talking about now. The events that are taking place over Russia, Slovakia, over Ukraine, concerning them and Russia. And people don't understand the crippling effect that conflict, or should I have said, as Putin said, military operation. But on a serious note, people don't understand how serious it is, or how it's gonna be in the coming days, because people don't understand that these two countries, amongst them, they are two of the biggest exporter of grain, of wheat, you know, of fertilizers. And everybody's supposed to know, say, Russia is like one big gas station, yo. So that's just a sidebar. Something where you can't even think about, yo, how serious it's gonna be. So the Lord said we are gonna hear of rumors of war. We're not supposed to be troubled, yo. And one of the reasons why is that we're looking for another prophecy in the midst of these rumors of wars, yo. Because we're looking for this system to collapse, for them to introduce their new world order, yo, in which the system and the laws are being written up now and being put in place for this agenda, yo, in which them can't Klaus Schwab is me and them total reset, in which a RFID microchip is going to be a new identity in that new world order. So the Lord said we're going to hear of these things, and kingdoms are going to rise against kingdom and nation against nation. And you're going to have famine, in which are going to stem even from this conflict, yo. Because these are the starting of the beginning of sorrows, as the prophecies have said, yo. So like as the Lord have said, it's the beginning of sorrows. So the Lord said, "I have pestilence," in which they declare that we are in a pandemic. Have they not? We have earthquakes in diverse places, meaning different places, different locations. Last week, Japan have a 7.3 earthquake, yo. But people cannot discern these things, yo. What's taking place upon the earth right now is the Lord visiting the earth which He made with signs and great wonders. As it is written in 2 Ezra 9 says, supposed to measure the time diligently in itself. So as concerning how it go affect you in these coming days concerning the war between Russia and Ukraine, let's see.
My friends, welcome. The effects of cutting off a third of the world's grains from the Black Sea region are already being felt around the world. We knew this was going to happen quickly at this point, but already there are animal feed producers in South Korea who are declaring force majeure. In other words, we know we had sold you this food for your animals, but we can't give it to you now, even though you're depending on it, because we can't get the corn that we had bought from Ukraine and from that Black Sea region. So I want to talk a little bit about that and what it means, as well as explore the fact that yesterday the EU agriculture ministers convened an emergency crisis meeting to talk about the fact that the war in Ukraine, quote, could disrupt food production in Europe, not just raw material or fertilizer prices. In fact, France already wants to activate the EU's food crisis mechanism. So I want to talk about that and what it means. There's a mechanism that they...
Alright, so it's a food crisis mechanism. Food control. Let me say it one more time. Food control, yo. And that's why the scripture even say, you cannot buy nor sell, say if you have the mark, yo, because the system are gonna get implemented, yo. It's gonna be a grid system, yo, controlled by AI technology, in which Esau plan to know every single thing about you, even things that you are thinking about, yo. And you're not gonna be able to function in this system without being a part of that grid. Saying to function, them aga force that digital identity right around the world, yo. So scripture make it very clear, yo. Those gonna worship and receive the mark are gonna be killed. Because them are gonna use food as one of the main weapon against you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And you don't believe that food is a weapon. This is Ezekiel 5 verse 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine. And who is that I? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It is written in Amos. Let me get to that and go back to that precept. So okay, 3 verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh had not done it? And famine is evil, yo. But the evil what the Lord I bring is for punishment, yo. As it is written in 2 Ezra. Let me just get to that, just to make the point. So this is 2 Ezra 16 verse 19. Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So this is what the Lord I send these things for, yo. Scourges for amendment. Okay. So I wanna go back to the precept in Ezekiel 5 verse 16. As it is written, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. And this is what the Lord has declared. Say, I'm going to do to you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that trust in this system, yo, and trust in this world. So let's go back to the video.
Have put into place after their farm to fork agenda. Covered back in 2020, I described that as a total takeover of food, where they set aside a lot of land and said you have to keep this fallow, you can't farm all of your land anymore. And this report you can still find iceagefarmer.com, farm to.
Alright, one of the biggest owner of farmlands over there in America right now, Bill Gates. Why is that so? Just think about it.
Fork. But we'll talk about the contingency plan, and it really doesn't give you any details. I've actually written to the committee and asked them for concrete steps. Is this food rationing? Is it price controls? Is it relaxing some of those restrictions on how much land they're not allowed to farm, which is what some of the major ag companies and commodities companies in the EU are advocating for. You can see here, the European Union should let farmers cultivate their fallow land so that we don't, in order to replace millions of tons of Ukrainian wheat that we're now not getting, according to agricultural group In Vivo. So let's talk about this, because things are moving very quickly now, and I expect that to continue and frankly to accelerate in the days ahead. I'm Christian, and this is the Ice Age Farmer broadcast, and the food crisis is here now. From agricensus.com, feed producers based in South Korea could be forced into declaring force majeure on some of their contracts in the coming weeks, as the loss of corn exports from the Ukrainian ports leaves a hard-to-fill gap in prompt supply. Prompt supply meaning what we need right now just to continue operating. Ukrainian ports stopped their operations and prices jumped after this invasion, with some data suggesting that about 300,000 metric tons of corn bound for South.
So right away, you hear him say prices jump. So you so-called niggers out here in Jamaica, predominantly Benjamites. You see me? Our money is devaluating at a rapid rate. In which your leaders them come boast with some new banknotes, before an eyes, and what them not knowing, hey, man, you see these new paper notes being printed, it's just your money being devalued, yo. So as it is written in, I want to say Agai, let me get to that. This is Agai 1, I'm going to start at verse 5. Now therefore, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. And people are going to start find out, say, the things them one used to buy last month, when you could have stock up for a month's grocery, the same money that can't go as far. When you used to stock up for a week grocery, can't go as far. Them that buy food day by day, when I go to say it, I go get harder and harder, yo. And that is going to bring in the civil unrest. Because people, once you back down against the wall, gradually, yo. We have a term out here with a pressure bust pipe, and the famine is gonna be that bursting, what cause that burst, yo. So hope this is edifying that I want to say. Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Shalom.